What button do I want to push now? I don't know.
Push them all. Push them all. Good morning, Rogersville.
Good morning.
It's a big weekend. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm still tired.
I think John Pope gets the award, though.
Oh, man. Well, and Alicia.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So they had homecoming, Rockin' Rogersville, and then the LR Booster Club golf tournament
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Good morning, Beth. Are you back from vacation?
Hey, Beth.
Beth, we missed you.
We all feel better now.
Yep.
The world's
We were
right.
worried about you, Beth. We were really concerned.
Checking on you last week when we didn't get our.
We sent in a squad to find you. Did they find you?
Clearly. But they still haven't found the purple dinosaur.
Oh man.
But, hey, Beth, to be fair, if we had to choose one, we'd choose you.
Yep.
We would choose you over the purple dinosaur any day, Beth. But yeah, Will was up way past his bedtime on Saturday night. We bailed on you, sorry.
I totally snuck out of here. I can't do late nights on Saturday and then preach on Sunday. So I think I left here around 8:30.
It's
something
okay.
Like that.
We've only got 39 or 40 people in our contributor group. And so, when I say, hey, if somebody would just show up and help me take down Saturday night, I pretty well expect to be the only one there doing it. And I was.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And to be fair, I did let you know I would not be around at the end.
It's all good. I mean,
At least I didn't go radio silent on you. Like, he'll figure it out later.
yeah.
I tried, and the girl, and I'm sitting there, and I'm cold, and they're cold, and it's 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it an hour and a half. And then that was at the point where Evie was rinsing cheese popcorn off of her hands and just poured it right on my shoes. My sandals, so they were wet. And I was
sandals too. You're getting all that in between your toes.
So you had Cheetos.
Oh, bum, bum.
I'll be here all week.
No, literally. He's here all week. He's always here.
The Cheetos ended me. I
that would end my night,
my
too.
feet are cold and wet. I can't keep my children awake or still. We have to go home.
Yep. That's okay.
Which that is, I think, the important thing that you learn as a parent at that point when you have little ones where you realize
they'll let you
we're
know.
done.
Yep.
We're done.
They will let you
here.
know.
Yeah.
They are a ticking time bomb all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was a super fun night at Rockin' Rogersville.
It was a blast.
It was really good. And those bands, they're all local bands, and I'm pretty impressed.
They're fun.
Oh, they're
crazy good.
We have some good talent in the area for sure.
And you got, a nice sampling. You had a little bit of country to kick the afternoon, evening off, and then Studio 54 comes in with that 70s
kind of oldies,
funk.
Yep, get the funk stuff going.
Oh, that was good.
That was when I took a break.
Dirty Saints. Okay, just started off with, Journey, Worlds Apart.
Uh-huh.
And if you could,
because that's easy.
I'm going to give you a second to think about that, what that sounds like in your head.
Most of the time when I've heard other people try it, it doesn't sound pretty.
He nailed it.
Nailed it.
It was awesome. And then just goes on and does that kind of 80s hairband kind of stuff.
On a musical journey.
And then Machine Gun Symphony came in and they hit a little harder note but still 80s with the Rat, Poison, Guns N' Roses, that kind of stuff.
All the contraband cassette tapes of my childhood.
And it all sound good. Oh, Beth was at Rockin' Rogersville, came by our tent, and we were gone.
Oh, no.
Oh.
You must have just slipped by because there was somebody there most of the time.
At least when I was around.
I must have been off to enjoy some of the awesome food trucks.
Yeah, no doubt.
That were there.
I ate like a teenager and paid for it.
So,
it
I wanted something else. I wanted some of the other stuff, but the hot dog line was shortest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that was amazing.
They're pretty good
dogs. That was a good dog.
I've had them before. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of waited, and from our vantage point, I could see the line.
Yeah, you were.
For Tinga Tacos.
Yeah, and that's what I was
going to go for. I kind of waited until it got down to about 5 people, because that was the shortest I ever saw it. And I ran over there and got some of theirs. It was good.
Yeah, was it good? They ran out last year, or 2 years ago by the time we got there. And I think Hot Dog Guy ran out this night because he was packing up while there was still line at Tinga.
Yep.
Those food vendors did good, I would think.
September 24th, 2022.
It's already on the calendar.
On the calendar for Rockin' Rogersville next year.
It was a good time, and good job by the Community Foundation of Rogersville. You guys always do a great job with it, and thank you for all that you do to support our community.
And I think I was doing the math. I think they gave away $12,500 to Rogersville
Wonderful.
different grants.
different grants at Rock and Rogersville. So it does make a difference.
Makes a huge impact.
Can you relay some of who the grants went to? I can't remember. I know last year they gave a grant to police department for body cameras.
Mhm.
Paid for 100% of those body cams, as I recall. So
Which was
our
phenomenal.
officers have body cams now, which is great.
Yes.
Really good deal.
So it was a great night. And the volunteers, holy moly, they were zoom, 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 walking.
And you could
All
see
the
them
time.
because they were in the bright yellow
Oh
shirts.
my
So you could see them
goodness,
zipping around
they were
everywhere.
working their tails off.
Yep.
Yeah, Noah
Yeah.
did do a great job, Beth. I agree. He did a great job. The crowd seemed to love it too.
That
Yep.
kid.
It had to have been pretty cool for him to be up there.
Well, and again, his adaptability, right? Because every time he showed up to do it with us,
Yeah, we
you know,
changed
the
something
setting
on
was
him.
a little bit different. But then we had no way of knowing what the stage was going to be like.
I wondered about that.
And so I kind of worked a little bit behind the scenes, like, hey, can we move those mics off, get some of those cords? He can't dance with those cords down the middle. So
Yeah.
of course they were changing, and they had to do that behind him. People don't always understand that when you're doing an event like that, where you have multiple entertainers,
Mhm.
you're changing. It's not just, okay, there's new people up there. It's a new drum set.
Yep.
It's the whole
It's
thing.
new everything, floor pedals for your guitars. And so they have a window where they got to get that done. And so they're trying to change the stage while Noah's dancing. And he's, what a pro
Took
to
it like
do
a
that.
champ.
People in the background, smaller area. So he's modifying his dance
While he's doing it.
I
while he's
wondered
doing
about
it
that. I was-
because he's restricted by the space. And, you know, to be that young and be that good and adaptable, that's a huge feather in his cap.
I think he's got a career in it.
Yeah. And to be clear, I don't know if anybody saw the video. They were like, it looks like he just entertained for nobody, because the seats out in front were empty.
Oh,
They don't
yeah.
know that the VIP tent was full,
Yeah.
and there were more people back behind.
There were
Right.
quite a few people
Yeah,
there at that
so-
point.
Not as many as there were later in the night, obviously, as
Yeah.
the sun went down. But
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely had a crowd to perform for.
Yeah, no, there were several hundred people there even at that point. I don't know what it got up to, but there was easily 5, 6 by the night it was over.
Oh, there
and
was
you had some turnover in the crowd too.
Right. Because when I was walking out, well, I was in and out several times, but even at like 8 o'clock, I was walking to my office, and there was a huge crowd coming in.
Yeah.
And that was just at 8
Mhm.
for the last couple hours.
I can't guess. I mean, I guess well,
You know how many tickets they sold?
they
I would
count
assume.
ticket sales.
Yeah, I was talking to Mike Scott, and he said it was somewhere around where it was 2 years ago, maybe a little less, but it was
Okay.
still a good crowd. Because 2 years ago, with the first one, it was massive.
But the takeaway
first
here
one?
is there was a huge crowd of people all unmasked in
there's-
Rogersville,
there's
and
been
so
3
Was this 3?
years.
Yeah, you're right.
There's
you
been
know
3.
it's
Yeah, I saw
it's-
your photo. Did you want to drop that on there
No,
for us?
No.
I'm saving that. It's gonna come out later. But
Oh, man.
basically,
It's gonna come out later.
the word is, you know, we're just a bunch of COVID infested gun toting hillbillies, and you definitely do not want to move here. So,
But
And
there's
there-
a lot of
there's
people
a portion
that
of the Will thinks this is working, but there's a portion of the
Anybody-
population that's like, oh, I want to move exactly there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Anybody from California or the East Coast, just keep in mind this is not where you want to be.
I have met.
It's terrible.
Just
I
not
can't.
even
I
gonna
can't tell you how many
comment.
Sundays in a row I went where I met new people to town who moved from California, and that's
I've loved every
exactly-
one of them I've met.
That's exactly why they
moved
came
here.
Yeah, and I do want to be
They-
clear. We do have a lot of people that have moved here from California, and they're fantastic.
Yes.
I like 'em
Refugees.
all. They're refugees. We'll accept them. They realize they lived in a nasty blue state.
Our
and
borders
they
are open
wanted to live in
to
a-
reasonable human beings who want to move to Missouri.
Yeah,
I still want to
certain
vet.
exceptions.
I still want a vetting process. We need hillbilly classes.
There's people that have been here for 100 years that need to be vetted.
Yeah, there's some truth to that.
but we have them on a list, and it's okay.
How many lists are you on, Will?
Oh,
That's-
several.
yeah.
I'm sure.
I bet Will
Homeland-
is on several
Homeland
lists.
Security.
Man, goodness.
Good times. But
Yeah.
it was a great weekend. And there's a lot of people who worked really hard for the community to pull that off. And so thank you to the volunteers and the organizations who did that, because that was a cool thing for Rogersville. It was big.
So, at the risk of bringing things down a little bit,
Okay.
I feel like I need to say this, and an extra shout out to Jennifer Katzen,
Yes.
who
Oh my gosh.
finds out on Saturday morning that one of the teachers that taught under her when she was a principal at the elementary school, the old Logan building, had passed away. Jody Blumenkamp. She was
And
one
Alicia
of-
Pope.
Yeah, and Alicia. Those
Yeah.
two were working all day grieving, and they're out there working at Rock and Raj. Jody Blumenkamp is a friend of ours who she taught one of my children in second grade. and just a wonderful, wonderful person who taught with so much fun. If you know Jody,
Yep.
she just is larger than life.
She was dressed up as a T-Rex
Thursday. Yep.
Thursday
Day before.
at the school.
I mean, wow. So we mourn her life,
Yep.
and yet thank God for all that she did for this community, and we continue to pray for those children that found out the news yesterday, and for the teachers in the school who are mourning. So
And
anyway,
the parents that had to tell them about
yeah,
that.
parents
on-
that
Yep.
that's a tough challenge.
That still sucks
Yeah.
real bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
So-
It was bad. We got the call from the counselors that night, and it was a bad deal. So those poor kids have been through a lot. They are the COVID kids. Several of the kids in that class lost Miss Luna
Mhm.
last or
Student
in
teacher
May.
last May.
And then now they are dealing with this, and she was a huge loss to the community of Rogersville. 13 years, I think she'd been a teacher.
Mhm.
And it seems we only, of course, knew her for a month, but she seems like she was a larger than life personality.
Absolutely.
And you see story after story on Facebook of how she changed the course of a student's education.
She made learning fun.
Yep.
That's what she was all
I need
about.
to stop crying on the morning
Yeah,
waffle.
I'm sorry. I felt like
Gummit.
I was
Yeah, you
teetering back and forth, but I felt like it
Well,
needed to be
it
said. We
has
need
to
to
be
honor.
said.
We need to
Yeah.
honor her and thank God for her life, and
Yep.
and mourn with them at the same time.
I think there's one other person that hasn't gotten any attention in this scenario that I think probably deserves it, and I don't even know their name, and I probably should. But because Jennifer Katzen is now the assistant superintendent, that building has a brand new principal.
principal.
Brittany
That's right.
Payne is her name.
Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know her name, but
Yep.
so Brittany, the principal,
That's a lot
new
to bring
principal,
on.
new to the community.
I
maybe
think
not.
so, yes.
New principal, and this is month one. We're gonna deal with the loss of a teacher, and that's
Yep.
not got to be fun for her too. So we'll keep Ms. Payne obviously in our prayers as
Absolutely.
we work through this.
Yes. And I saw Dr. Katzen Saturday night, and I could tell she was on autopilot. And I mean, it was
Business, and that's the thing.
Yep.
If you know Jennifer, she knows how to just be business, but to be bearing all that emotion for the moment just to get the job done, that's just who she is.
a lot. Her and Alicia, I mean, people care about this community, you guys. I mean, they will, give more than they should, honestly, to keep these events going and when they're dealing with their stuff at home. So appreciate those volunteers out there, and hey, jump in and help too.
Yeah. Hey, here's a way you can help, by the way. The schools are desperate for bus drivers.
Oh, yes.
There are six. They're six short, if I understand correctly. So we have drivers who are having to run a route, come back, and run another route.
Second route, yeah.
So, and when I'm talking about volunteer, you get paid to do this.
Mhm.
And here's another way to look at it. You're like, well, I don't have time to be a bus driver. I could never take on a route. If you have your CDL, you could just drive for one of the sports teams, and that would help. So, for
Okay.
example, we're going to Cassville today with the soccer team,
Yeah.
and we don't have a bus.
Mm.
So last night we're organizing with parents to take kids. Softball's in the same situation. They don't have a driver for today. Last week we went to Willard. We had to get there an hour earlier than we normally would get there. So we sat there because he had to drive us, come back, run his route, and then another driver came and picked us up. And so it's really crazy. I mean, this is systemic with a lack of desire to work in general. And
I feel
It's-
like I've been thinking about a lot about this lately. So been talking with some friends about it, and we've lost a whole bunch of baby boomers in the workforce,
Mhm.
right? COVID was probably the thing that was like, I'm gonna retire, and those were workaholics. A lot of the baby
they
boomers
love to
were
work.
flat out workaholics.
Working 2-3 jobs, they'll go drive a bus
24,
after.
yeah,
working a full-time
24/7 type. I mean, to me, they really are the generation that catapulted us into 24/7 kind of jobs and options.
Well, every bus driver I had, which wasn't many because I went to school with mom and stuff, but
Yeah.
it was a farmer.
Right.
They
Yeah.
drove the
Get
bus
up.
and they farmed.
Yep.
Well, they farmed,
Get
drive
up,
the
farm,
bus,
drive
farm
the
some
bus.
more.
Yep.
I was talking to Dr. Randalls about this at Coffee at the Post last week, and because I got the information like, hey, we're really looking for bus drivers and all that stuff. So I went on the school website and I looked at what it took to be a bus driver. And you do have to have a CDL. And I was talking to him, you have to have a
Air brake.
bus certification, air brake certification, passenger certification. I'm like, Dr. Randalls, that's a lot.
Well, that's the state.
Yeah, it's a state.
It's a state.
And I understand that. But I was telling Shelby that, and she said, well, I think they'll train you. I don't think you have to go get all that and then apply. I think you can just show up without that and say, I'll be a bus driver, but I need to get certified. And I think they'll help you get certified.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's a huge barrier, I think, out of the way. Because I think some people would look at that and go, well, I might be willing to get my CDL, but I got to get air brakes. I got to get all this. It seems like a lot. But if you're willing, they'll help you get the certification. So I'd give it a shot. I think
give
you
it a
should.
look.
If you've got any flexibility in your schedule, I think it's an awesome thing.
Some good extra cash too.
Mhm.
These guys make some good money, and I guess some of the guys that have driven us before, they'll drive us, and then they're there. And if you have a job where you can work remotely, I've seen some of these guys. They're working while we're playing a game. They're on the bus on their computer doing stuff. So.
And the tips.
Well, right, the tips are big time with high school kids. I mean.
I just spit on the microphone. Sorry.
That's why that's there.
Coffee.
We got it there. I apologize. Actually, no, that was fuzz. Never mind. I was like, that didn't feel like a
Take it home.
You have fuzz coming out of your mouth?
No, it was already on there. I just made it move. Made it flutter. So,
Waffle.
I mean,
You made it waffle.
Yeah.
I made it waffle. I am, we tried to go eat breakfast Saturday morning in Springfield, and we went to a couple places, and they were not at capacity because they didn't have enough staff. And the poor staff is just running like crazy. And I'm telling you right now, be nice to the people that are working. Give them a break. Have some patience. Do not be a grumpy butt to the people who have shown up to work right now.
They're actually working.
Somebody told me at one of the local nursing home in the area, there were 6 aides scheduled to be on staff that Saturday, and 3 showed up. And I mean, so seriously, be kind to the people that are at their jobs right now.
Who are showing up to work.
They're worn slick.
Well, I tip. I think I've always been a good tipper because I always wanted to tip well. I tip more now.
I do too.
We kind of need to.
I mean, it's yeah. Tip well. Tip very well. Yep. The people that are working.
And just give them a break. If it takes
especially
a little longer
if they're doing a good job.
Sandwich, they're doing a great. Yeah, if they're doing.
Yeah, what you don't realize is that there's a skeletal crew in the kitchen.
Yep.
And you're
There's
mad at the server.
Crew everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. And it's taking longer, not because they're not doing their job, because they can only cook so many meals at once.
So the chef that teaches my culinary class on Monday nights, I was talking to him because we start our class. There's 6 sections. I was 16 in the class. He teaches all 3 sections on Mondays, the only day he teaches. And they were all full when we started the semester. Well, we had 10 people in our class last night. I'm like, are we losing people? He's like, well, we've only lost 2 out of this class, but we had 7 drop in another section. So you've got people that are starting this stuff and then just going, So like half the people that signed up for this course have dropped it already, and we're in week 5.
Wow.
Well, and I think the Gen Z, and if there's any Gen Zs watching, probably not.
They're not.
We're not that cool.
We're on Facebook.
I honestly think they have figured out how to live with not working as much as our generations of people were expected to work. I think they've got roommates.
Yeah.
They're living with family.
Yep.
And they have made a decision to not run the rat race. And frankly, that's okay.
Well, that's
their right.
That's what I'm processing is that okay?
Well,
and
right.
I think in a way it is because I love the capitalist free market model. And so like my son, Peter, I mean, that's what he's doing. He has a pre-med degree. He could go to medical school. He could pursue anything else. He's chosen not to. He's got a house with 4 guys. He's in Kirksville, and he drives for DoorDash when he needs money. And other than that, he's just kind of hangs out.
And when he gets motivated enough to want to go make more money or do something else, he'll do it.
And I think that's the thing that Gen Xers are wondering about our older Gen Z kids is, are they ever going to get motivated to want to do that?
But I mean, if you think about that, people used to not. I mean, they worked to survive is what they did.
Yeah.
They worked to survive. And then we went through, and we're talking like 1800s.
Industrial Revolution.
Industrial Revolution.
Greatest Generation showed us get her done.
Yeah. Well, and the boomers were like, we don't want to have the struggles our parents had. And we've got, of course, technology is growing at that point, and it's like, we're going to work and we're going to have good lives and we're going to have good homes and we're going to provide more than our kids had, more than our parents had. And my generation was like, part of that work ethic, but oh, by the way, everything's going to be open 24/7, and now you've created millions of jobs because of technology.
Yeah. You skip past Gen X. You went straight to.
I don't know.
Are you millennial or are you Gen X?
I'm between.
You're
Gen
one of the
X.
oldest millennials.
I'm one of the oldest millennials.
See, I think in Gen X, we
were so independent because both of our parents were working.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
We figured it out on our own, and we continue to do that.
Yeah. I think one of the things the millennials gave us that was good and bad was this thing called me time.
Yeah.
Right. And as a pastor, I look at that and go, okay, we forgot what Sabbath means. We're supposed to take a break. God designed us to take a break. However, on the negative side, the me time turned into selfishness. Like it's always about me. I'm not going to volunteer. I got to have my me time. I'm not going to work that other job to provide. I need my me time. So when you take it too far, and now we have a generation that maybe has gone way too far with, well, I don't have to. It'll just come to me.
Well, and that might be true. Now, the other way I'm thinking about, though, is I was kind of going along, my thought process is similar to Lauren's, which is like, what happens when our economy, society, culture matures past the industrial road, the one way to do it, and now we kind of regress back into it's almost like everybody's a farmer now. You eat what you kill.
Yeah.
And so, maybe you kill it because you're a DoorDash driver and you just go out and work. Because, I mean, that's what I've done.
When you need to.
That's what I've done for 20 years.
Today. I have enough food for the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's my daily bread.
Well, and we've got people are commenting. Drew, who's in college, or not college, he was in school with me forever.
Your Zennials.
Probably kindergarten through senior year. Yeah.
We're
Zennials because we're right on the cusp.
That's right.
We're 83, 84 born kids.
Yep.
And like the technology thing happened right after we graduated. And then I like Abby's comment. Let's take Sunday back to everything being closed.
Yeah. That's a different, when I was a kid, I remember begging my parents, can I go to my friend's house on Sunday? And I was like, no, it's a day of rest. We eat, we take a nap, we watch some football, we go back to church. And I don't know that I want to go back to that, but the principle of just taking a day. Yeah. Like we go nonstop, and that's, that's our fault. Like we've created in our kids this schedule where we don't know how to tell our kids no. So we enroll them in every activity known to man.
I am trying to not do that.
And I encourage you not to do it.
Well, I think you guys will be better about that than we were.
Yes, because it's ridiculous, frankly.
And then you don't have time to volunteer.
Well, I mean,
you don't
my
have time
God.
to
Okay, let's take the Gen Zs. They ran that rat race as kids.
Yeah.
Now they're 18. They control their lives, and they're like,
I don't want to.
Maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah. They ran that rat race, but they got a trophy every time they did it.
Yeah,
so,
they did.
Yeah.
Even for last place.
let's
good
not
job.
Forget that.
Good job
so
showing up.
I think this is a cyclical deal. I mean, and I think, and not to mention, technology and different jobs has created work that never existed before.
And got rid of work that existed before.
Yeah, in the 20 years. So, I mean, I feel like this is a cycle. All of a sudden, magically, there's not going to be enough employees to fill these jobs. I think we were on this collision course, and then COVID sped it up 5 years.
But having been unemployed for 20 years, which I have been unemployed for 20 years.
Really?
Yeah. Self-employed, I guess.
Yeah.
I work for myself. But there is, I think there's a value in that. But I also have to say, when I first got into being self-employed, running my own business, being my own boss, doing my own thing, I thought, this is great. And my next step as 35 years old was, everybody should do this. And I was a little bit of an evangelist for working for yourself. And then I realized, this is not for everybody, because they crashed and burned. They crashed and burned.
Health insurance is key to that.
Yeah,
because you used to be able to afford to get health insurance.
That's one part of it.
Self-employed. I mean, these are the decisions that we have to make. It's like Jesse and I kind of joke around that I'm the breadwinner and he's the benefits winner. Because it's like you have to have somebody getting freaking benefits.
Right. And when I first started it, I could get a health plan for me and my boys. It was $200 a month. And that was for me and my three dependents.
I did the same.
And I was like, okay, this is no big deal. Well, now I'm on Shelby's plan now at the school. And so I'm on her benefits now, because it finally got to where, that made more sense. Is the insurance is good? No. I had better insurance for $200 a month than I'm getting on her plan at the school as a group plan, because, it's all jacked up. But
So I mean, our society changed drastically. I guess it's 20 years if you think about it. When you think about the
Been in my professional lifetime.
the 20-year mark, there is a significant difference in society with technology and expectations. You could even say morality if you want to.
You can definitely say morality.
So I mean, we are not an old country. We're not so I mean, we're struggling here, I think. And somebody was telling me about a book called The Fourth Turning, our buddy April.
Oh yeah.
And she's
Where
like, you
it
need to
always
read this, where
switches
it's
over.
cyclical, and right now we're in kind of an unraveling. I need to read it. I'm
It
curious
is,
about it.
and you brought up morality. I was telling a group of guys earlier this morning that a friend of mine who he's upper 20s. He leans very libertarian, but I would say that's a wide range, right?
Oh yeah.
So he was on the far more social left side of that in his early 20s, and he and I don't share the same religious beliefs. But he is having a turn. It's been fun for me to watch over 5 years how he's seeing, all this stuff we were pushing for, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's falling in on itself. And he's not a believer as I am, but he's coming to these conclusions where he says, we pushed really hard for social reform and it's destroying the fabric of our society.
Yep.
And it's been, I won't say fun for me to watch, but it's been educational for me to watch. And it gives me hope.
yeah.
That even the non-believers in my faith are seeing that far push for all things rejecting Christianity will not stand.
Right.
So
Well, when you've built a culture, as we have, that is how people will deny it, but all European Western cultures has a
Judeo-Christian values.
Judeo-Christian foundation.
Yeah.
Whether you like that foundation or not, you
do.
knock the foundation out from under something, it's going to fall.
exactly.
Regardless. But I think what's interesting is I read a bunch of stuff online, and I'll dip my toe in every once in a while, but I try to stay out of it. But you've got there's a strong push for this socialist. The workers need to own the method of production is kind of the socialist Marxist principle. And then you've got California. The one thing, you've got California that was cracking down on all the gig work. Like, so, no, you can't be a gig worker. We want you to be
No 1099s.
No 1099s. You've got to be a W-2 employee, all that stuff. I'm like, but if you would just let that go, capitalism would give the workers everything they're trying to get by legislative fiat, but they're ruining it because they're trying to take away the workers' ability to do. The free market capitalism would produce that type of freedom for the worker if they would just get the government out of it and let it be unregulated.
Yeah, but I mean, we've passed that point. It's like the government's in it in everything.
Right.
And everything. I mean, that's changed. That's another thing that's changed drastically in the past 20 years.
You're making me use my grumpy face.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We better change the subject in a hurry.
But I mean, it's, and it is interesting because I believe we are in a cyclical change. I mean, I think society in general is pushing back because, so the boomers built this entrepreneurial work ethic. Then the Gen Xers came in and adopted it, and then guess what happened when the millennials showed up to be part of it? You couldn't get a dang job.
Yeah, that's right.
Or they're like, you graduated college, we'll pay you $9.15 an hour.
Well, that's because you
And we want
graduated
you to
with a
work-
liberal arts degree.
And you owe $100,000.
Well, I didn't. And so it's like you're now going to work 60 hours a week and you're not going to get any sick days. And no wonder we got freaking burned out. I mean, seriously. So
Beth has a comment. Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
Healthcare can't have Sundays or holidays off. If you have ambition, you're made fun of. Some kids feel entitled. Each generation wants better for their kids, and here we are. I agree.
Summed it up.
I don't know what I mean when
summary.
my girls are like getting to that college decision making. College is $100,000, and they don't have a real clear path. They're not going to college.
Well, I'm in it right now. So
Yeah.
Friday's the day that we can apply for FAFSA. And that's a scary thing. We're applying and they're going to offer us more than we want to borrow, I'm sure, but it's going to, as you say, it has to make sense.
It has to.
So what? Your ACT got you this amount of money and soccer got you this amount of money. At the end of the day, if we're still looking at 10 or 15 a year times 2.
Oh, geez. Double factor with twins.
Right.
Yikes.
It's like,
Well, that's the thing with scholarships and FAFSA and any of that stuff. When there's more money, it's an inflationary
Yeah,
problem.
And they
price
just
goes
raise the
up.
price of
Oh,
college.
college can just like, oh, well, now we can raise tuition by $2,000
Right.
a year because there's more money available, and it's a never-ending cycle. It's self-defeating.
Exactly right.
Well, and what did it do too? The preaching. My generation was told you
Gotta
have
go.
to go
Gotta
to
go to
college.
college.
You have to go to college. And guess what? We don't have electricians, plumbers, framers, all of the trades, which are wonderfully fulfilling jobs if done the right way. They
Absolutely.
make better money. They have their own schedule, and it's hard on their bodies. There's no doubt about that. And somebody's got to earn the dang benefits.
So
But
I've got my twin boys, and then they've got two best friends that live just down the street. They've grown up together. They're the same age, but 1 year ahead in school. So they've been doing OTC during high school.
Yep.
They're still in OTC, one for HVAC, one for electrical, and they're already doing their apprentice work. So they're getting up every day while my kids are going off to their senior year of high school and thinking about college. They're getting up,
Getting paid.
doing school and working long hours and getting paid already.
Yep.
And my boys are looking at it like, should we be? And we're like, hey, it's
I don't know.
It's legit.
it's
Yeah.
open, and I want you to think about all options. You know, I don't want to say no to college because one wants to be a pastor, so that's
that might irritate the Lord.
Well, it's a different pathway. You do kind of have
You're
to
like,
anyway. And the other is thinking business, but even then, it's like some of the best businessmen I know never went to college. They just found a way to start making money. But it's an interesting conversation. It used to be a given. You will go to college. If you don't, you're not driven. Well, now it's like, no, I'm looking at some driven people that are just finding ways to go make money.
yep.
Yeah.
It's like Drew said, they had 0 applicants for their last testing at Cape Girardeau Fire Department. I mean,
Not surprised.
and
Drew, are you in Cape Girardeau? I lived in SEMO for 6 years.
Cape Girardeau.
Cape Girardeau.
But all
What a
those
wonderful
jobs that we're
town.
talking about, those are hard work.
Yeah, they are.
Those,
Yeah.
those. I mean, I didn't do a lot of hard work when I was a kid. I'm not.
We know.
Not throwing myself
We
under in that scenario, but I think as a generation, we grew up doing chores, working on the farm, things like that, and now we've got kids that are graduating high school that haven't done any of that.
No,
that's my thumbs
they
up to Drew.
weren't. They didn't do that. You know what they were doing? They were in clubs and activities, and their parents were schlepping them around every weekend, and it was a very child-centric lifestyle. But guess what? You're only a child for so long.
Right.
You're an adult the majority of your life.
Well, and now somebody wants you to go hammer nails for 8 to 10 hours a day. You're like, oh my gosh,
No, I won't
my
do that.
Nintendo thumb isn't ready for that.
Nintendo thumb. Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
I can still feel it. Mashing that keypad.
that's right.
That's awesome.
But it's just different. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know that there is one. But I can tell
I
you
don't
that
think there is. I think we'll see what happens.
that my father has had for the last ever since COVID hit. He's had Jack working on the farm. I mean, that kid has built fence and cleared fence
Good.
rows, and they've done a lot of work. And you can tell that kid is ripped.
I was getting ready to say, I saw him at the football game, and I thought, that's not the skinny Worsham look I'm used to seeing. Like, this kid looks like he's been in the weight room.
I
Skinny
know.
worship
It's
look.
not. It's not. Well, have you seen Luke?
What? No,
There's me. Except
Your
I've
kids grew up around me. I saw them all. They
I've
were like
chunked
a
up,
Oh,
but yeah.
I'm laughing because the Hutchison look is the chunky, hairy look.
Well, my kids definitely have my look.
Oh, man.
When my kid starts texting me hair pictures, like, I'm getting ready to go get my hair cut. Dad, what do you think about this? Like, oh, you are my son. Yeah, that's a good look. You should get that cut.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Smarter, not harder. That was always my
Yes,
my
Brad.
motto.
Yes.
Sometimes you just got to work hard, and there's no getting around.
I
it.
like working hard.
I do
That's
too.
the thing. And
I do
honestly,
too.
and again, one of the guys said this morning in our group, he said, God designed us to enjoy working hard. We were never designed to receive something for nothing.
Right.
And there's truth
Yeah,
in
there's
that.
Very
truth
much
in
truth
that.
for that.
You're going to live a more fulfilled and flourishing life if you're working for what you get.
I'm
Well-
gonna throw Shauna's comment back up there because we kind of missed it, but
Dad, with the age of 5, and put up to work cleaning up after his subs and no pay.
no pay.
Yeah.
No,
just learn
I-
to work. That's your pay.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
lost my headset again. It got all wonky.
You're gonna get food and you're gonna get a place to sleep, and thank you very much.
Yeah, I remember I worked
Are
a
you
summer.
back?
My mom may debate this, but my folks had a small motel when I was in high school, and or actually before that too. And I think I was about 12, and one of my first jobs was like picking up the parking lot, stripping the rooms, and I had lots of jobs while I was in high school. And so I was just working in the motel doing the easy stuff. And at the end of it, she was like, okay, let's go buy your school clothes with the money I'd earned.
Good job, Lauren.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, earned your school clothes. Good job.
I probably appreciated those school clothes more than others, though.
Yeah,
Might take care of them.
absolutely.
They were just given to me.
Well, it's a deal, but
It is the, and I mean, we'll see what happens. It's going to be, I don't know if we'll be doing the morning waffle in 10 years, but it will be interesting to see.
Maybe the morning pancake. By
maybe morning Metamucil.
Metamucil is a wonder drug. That stuff is brilliant.
That's good to know.
Yeah, you just jump on that train.
I'm
telling
I just
you,
drink coffee.
you're
I'm
going to
good.
thank yourself later. This episode is not sponsored by Metamucil.
Nope.
But it could be by Storytime Coffee Company.
It should be. We're all drinking the Storytime coffee. Good stuff. A couple of things because it's 8:30 and we need to probably shut this thing
I got
down.
work to do. Let's go.
I do too. But we got Man Camp coming up this weekend.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not too late to buy tickets.
another
for that.
weekend
I got
of
another
fun.
weekend. And then the next weekend is Harvest Fest.
Yeah. Hey, and this Friday is First Friday.
First Friday.
Yes.
Wear your costume out to Jamestown, 6 to 9, all the normal fun for the kids. There is a chili cook-off.
I don't know if I can.
Second place chili. Could this be the year
I don't
that your
know
first
if I
place
can.
chili?
I don't know
I'm
if
out.
I
Hey,
can
who
make
has a good chili out there? We're gonna have a competition out here at Jamestown on Friday from 6 to 9. So bring your best chili. All that money.
Chili
What
throwdown.
are we? I forgot what we're raising money for this.
Something
oh,
cool.
I'm a bad leader.
That's
Somebody else leads this. We always give away. Last month we gave to the Vietnam Veterans Coalition. The month before that it was the Booster Club.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know what charity we're giving to this year or this. Golly, what is wrong with me this month?
Ballard, it's
This
okay.
Friday.
Nobody's judging you right now.
It's okay.
We actually had a lot of
anyway.
viewers today too, which is cool. They
I hadn't
listened
even-
to our random
I
diagnosis of
hadn't
the
even
world.
been looking at that because I was so into what we were doing.
There's
here.
a bunch.
But
It's been like 16 consistently.
1.5 new shows coming to K-ROG.
Nice.
Ooh.
So we're going to resurrect Friday mornings.
With Keaton.
Nope. Keaton.
Oh, okay.
Keaton kind of bailed.
Well, he's
It's
he's
okay.
an entrepreneur,
He's an
in
entrepreneur.
college. So let's give
yeah.
him
So it's okay. I haven't seen Keaton for a little bit, but Cassie Dowden from right down the hall here, she's agreed to come on and start
I'm
hosting
excited
Friday
about
mornings
this. She has
with
an
me.
interesting job.
She does.
I'm curious to learn from this.
And she's a nice, happy, bubbly personality to counteract me.
all of this
Grumpiness.
darkness.
Is there a theme? Or are you giving us a?
So, it's going to be kind of similar to what it was. We're just going to kind of pick some things we think are interesting to talk about. We're going to help get word about things that are happening in Rogersville. We're planning on trying to get some regularly scheduled guests. And so Dr. Sean Randalls has agreed to come on once a month. And so he'll be with us, I think, the second Friday of every month to
great.
kind of give us an update what's going on in the school district. And he said if he could make it, he'd send Jennifer, and that'll be fine. But we're kind of recruiting. I think we're going to get your brother-in-law, your brother,
My brother Ryan.
Ryan. I think he's going to come in for a tech update.
Nice.
Just talk to a smart guy.
Yeah, we're going to have a general smart to a talk to a smart guy.
Talk to a smart guy.
to a talk guy. Every once in a while. And then, but yeah, we'll get to see, but we just want to have some folks on that are interesting and talk about that. And then debuting at the Farm and Harvest Festival will be the reboot of The Smoke Show.
This is
You
exciting.
probably don't remember The Smoke Show because we only did about 2 episodes of it way back when.
This is where we sit around, smoke cigars, and talk about things.
This is where we talk about meat.
I'm going to make you a star.
We talk about cooking and meat, and we're going to be sponsored by Valley Mountain Quality Meats.
Wonderful new store in Raj.
Wonderful.
Love that.
Store. And we're going to be at the Harvest Festival at the park, which is in 2 weeks.
And that is going to be good old-fashioned silly family fun. So just put on October 9th on your
Are you
calendar.
having pumpkin chunking again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We're chunking pumpkins.
chunking them
We're
pumpkins.
chunking pumpkins.
We're going to be cooking up some quality meat sliders. Phil Dowden, Cassie's husband, is going to be helping me with that show. And we're going to be cooking up some sliders to give away at the harvest. So samples only. So there's lots of awesome food vendors there.
I think Phil is he the athletic coordinator director at Evangel? Is that right?
Yeah, I keep calling him the king of all sports at Evangel.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
he keeps saying that's
No
not
longer the Crusaders; they're now the Valor.
the Valor. That's right. The
Evangel
Evangel Valor.
Valor.
Not to be confused with the Evangel Velour.
No, it is not velour.
Yeah, which is
I do like a velour tracksuit though.
Yep.
Well, doesn't everybody?
But they are the Evangel Valor now. But we'll have Phil with us. He's a grill master, and so he likes
That's
to.
cool.
To
Phil
do that
seemed like
stuff.
a nice guy. I met him the other day.
Yeah,
he's
they're
gonna
a
be
great
awesome.
couple.
Yep.
Good to
So
have them around.
we're
That's
going
cool.
to be we're going to be doing some cooking for you guys and how to prepare stuff.
I'm excited. I'm pumped.
This is fun.
Oh, and head out to the market at Samuel Cedars tonight. I had a good time out there last Tuesday.
good job
I
on
did
the
my
in the
in
loop.
the loop. Thanks.
Yeah.
Doug did a great job. I'm like, hey, Doug, here's a camera. Because I didn't really have my goal was to have Jesse film us while I walked around with Doug, and then the children were there, and it wasn't.
I'm telling you,
You need to
having
teach like
children just
Evie
gets
and Clara
in the
to
way.
run. I want to see
could
Evie could run the
100% do
camera,
it.
and you need Clara to be your boom operator.
Oh,
That's what I want to see.
I don't know. I feel like Clara
awesome.
needs to be the personality.
Oh, she's got a personality.
Yeah, she does. Oh, I love it. Hey, and I told Lori she'll be sending stuff out to chamber members. But if you want your business highlighted by Lauren or myself and in the loop,
Or Will.
any of us,
Let us know.
yeah, go on our website, fill out the form. It's $100. It's a one-time. You don't have to do like a monthly sponsorship fee with K-ROG, but
And-
just a one-time shot. We'll come out. We'll highlight your business and talk all about it and help drum up support.
And a portion of your $100 goes to actually boost the post.
Yes.
So we don't just put you on K-ROG. We then boost you out to all of our
A lot of people see it.
I don't know how many followers we have. We got 2,000.
Over
Yeah, and we
more.
get a lot of hits on those in the loops that when Lauren does them. So people are sharing it as well. So yeah, hit us up if you want to work with K-ROG to get your business highlighted.
So head out to the market at Samuel Cedars tonight. Friday, Saturday, go to Man Camp. Next Saturday, go to Farm and Harvest Festival.
Friday, go to First Friday.
Friday, go to First Friday.
Make chili.
You could just
Like
first
chili.
place
chili.
circuit. So
Just don't ever leave Rogersville. This
yeah,
place
there's
is
no
great.
reason. Yeah, there's no reason.
It's a wonderful town.
We're working on
But
making
don't move
it paradise.
here. If you're from California, don't move here.
You can move here. Some of you.
Some of you.
Please move here. I don't have a job.
See me smile? He doesn't smile. I smile.
I'm smiling.
Lauren's like,
I'm a
"Everybody
realtor.
move
I'm a
here."
realtor trying
Please
to sell
move
houses.
here.
Will.
Don't listen to this guy.
We'll see you next
Okay,
week.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Waffle.
it's
Bye.